Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The very unfortunate and mysterious death of Albert Ojwang has exposed very many things in this government. And when people try to analyze what is happening, people are asking, where are the flower girls, the members of the president worship team that continue to shower Ruto with praises, those from the Luoland, people like Opondo Kaluma, people like Samuel Atandi? Where are they? Because they had said that Ruto ni mweupe kama pamba, Ruto is good, and now people are asking, are they enjoying the cabinet positions that they keep on parading to us at the expense of murders in the Luoland? People are asking. And the silence of leaders from there is questionable. In fact, some of them will speak for the sake of it. I saw them shedding crocodile tears in the funeral of Ongondoweri just for the camera. It has really exposed them. It has really brought a lot of tension in the country, but it has also exposed that there is tension within the police forces. Just the other day, Rigathi warned the IG Douglas Kanja that if he is not careful, he will stay there as a flower girl, because the people who are calling the shots are the Kalennin-Mafias, according to Rigathi Gachagua, led by William Samoei Ruto as the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces, and Murky, who were just elevated against the chagrin of the Gen Zs, who is now the interior CS, and then Eliud Lagat, that the former deputy president claims is now, heading a very powerful elite squad that is meant to clear any dissenting voices. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you in this video how Douglas Kanja is now being forced by those very powerful Kalennin-Mafias to protect and shield Eliud Lagat and exonerate him from any blame after hell broke loose and Kenyans are baying for Eliud Lagat's blood. Before that, allow me to give a very quick feedback on our boy Franklin, whom we were taking to school.
Kwa majina ni John Franklin na nasomea Thika High School, na mimi ningependa kuwaomba kama mnaweza nisaidia ku raise school fees yangu. Nimefukuzwa toka shuleni for the last 2 weeks, nimekuwa hapa home. Nilikuwa nawaomba tu Mungu hata waguza muweze kunisaidia ku raise school fees niweze kurudi shuleni. Mimi mwenyewe natamani kusoma nimalize shule ili niweze saidia watu wengine, nisaidie pia wazazi wangu niweze kuinua. Sana naomba mkinisaidia nitawashukuru sana. Mungu atawabariki.
Briefly, ladies and gentlemen, we collected 21,000 Kenya shillings. So when we communicated with the school, they said they wanted a minimum of 30,000 Kenya shillings. And so I'm forced to come back because the fee is 46,000 Kenya shillings. I failed to raise that. I didn't meet my target. So I lowered it. I wanted at least 20,000 shillings to go and plead with the administration. We got 21. But they have said they need at least 30,000 Kenya shillings. I'm humbly requesting and beseeching you, naomba tu 50 bob challenge. Kama mtu ataguzwa, tutumika kitu ili tupate only 9,000 Kenya shillings, tuongeze juu hiyo tupate 30, mtoto aende shuleni. Exams are at the corner now. Is really missing out on the syllabus. So please nakuomba tuongeze kitu kidogo tuweze kupeleka mtoto shule. Thank you as you plan to give, and may God bless you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to Douglas Kanja, because in my earlier video I showed you how he cleverly exposed his deputy, and he said our deputy complained that Albert had tarnished his name, and with that, Douglas Kanja was only exonerating himself. But then he has been forced now to call the IPOA, the chairman of the IPOA, the former IEBC chair, Isaac Hassan. They were with him and they were exuding confidence that they are going to unearth the mystery behind Albert's death. And I want you to listen to this, and then I will show you how the powerful forces have started to exonerate Eliud, and they are now pointing accusing fingers to Inspector General himself. Can you take a look?
I'll invite the chair, IPOA, to say one or two things. Chair, please. Bismillah. As the IG has said, we were informed about the death of the young man in police custody yesterday. Actually, the IG sent me a copy of a signal. And so from last night, we had already commenced the investigations. We have dispatched our team here. They have come here last night. They are still here today. They have visited the scene. Last night I had decided to come and see for myself this place where the death occurred. And I had informed the IG that I was going to come. So then he told me, actually I'm also going there, let's meet there. So I don't have much information to tell you from my power, just to confirm that we have received the information about the death from the IG, and we have commenced our investigations in accordance with the law. And we want to assure, I watched Mzee Ojwang on TV crying. Any parent will feel the same pain when you have lost your son. I want to assure him and members of the public that IPOA will do everything possible to ensure that justice is served for the family and to Kenyans. And we're very happy that the IG has already interdicted all the officers who are in this station at the material time. We also want to warn those who are going to be appointed to act in their places, to cooperate with our investigators and not to interfere with the investigations. I thank you.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to imagine, for a very long time I've not seen Issa Hassan. Ever since he was appointed into that very office, I've never seen him. In camera, he's been hiding. But this time round, he had to come out because they understand that the death of Albert has really elicited a lot of bitter reactions from Gen Zs. It reminds them of the kidnappings and murder of Gen Zs when they went to parliament. Now, I want you to imagine this, that the investigative officer headed by Issa Hassan was there together with the person who is supposed to be investigated. The person who should be investigated is the top cream of the police, the Deputy Inspector General, a man who has been accused to be the one pulling the shots. So Issa Hassan's team is supposed to be investigating the police officers, and already they are together. It cannot work out, I can assure you. Then I want you to listen to Aaron Cheriot, because William Ruto sent him with a message. Then after that, I will tell you how Douglas Kanja is being forced to protect his deputy so that they sacrifice small fishes while the big fishes remain roaming around. Can you listen to Aaron Cheriot?
There is an incident that happened yesterday, which I want to join the rest of Kenyans who are condemning the brutal murder of that young Kenyan. And I want to urge the Inspector General of Police, together with all the agencies like APOA, do not allow a few officers to spoil the image of our police service. 95 to 99% of our police officers are very diligent, very patriotic Kenyans who undergo their duties with great patriotism. Do not allow a few bad apples that are doing bad things to Kenya to spoil the image of our police until when Kenyans see police service, they think these are murderers. Many of these police officers, they are our brothers, they are our sisters, they are our fathers, and they do their work very well. I want to challenge those charged with the responsibility. Please get to the root cause of the murder of that young Kenyan so that Kenyans can restore their faith in our police service, so that we do not judge our police as an institution harshly because of the issues of one or two officers that have misbehaved. I hope by this afternoon, IPOA will give an update to the country of what really happened inside that police station so that Kenyans can believe we have institutions that work. Lastly, I want to address also the political scavengers who have made it their duty to try and seek cheap political points out of every unfortunate incident that happened in Kenya. You are not any different for those that are murdering our young people. You are not even seeking empathy for the families, but are just seeking an opportunity to milk and make political capital out of unfortunate situation. We want to say shame on you and keep your bad tongues out of the public affairs of our country.
If you listen to Chariot carefully, that message number one is meant to pacify the Luo community, the Luo leaders, that at least there is a Kalenjin who has come out and is now criticizing the death of Albert Ojwang. Why? It has been said that the police force is headed by the Nandi community or something, Ruto, Murkomen, and Eliud Lagat. So before they complain so much, or in the midst of the complaints, Aaron Choriot is supposed to go and pacify them so that they can see, okay, Kalenjin is now speaking. Listen to Rigathi Gachagua saying that the police force is simply a Nandi business.
Yule Inspector General of Police ni Flower Girl. Hapo nyuma yake ameweka mtu ya kabila yake anaitwa Eliud Lagat.
Yeye mwenyewe, ile waziri anaitwa Murkomen na DIG anaitwa Lagat, wote watu ya kabila moja. Rais Murkomen na Lagat, watu ya kabila moja. Ndio wamepanga jama ya kuangaisha viongozi ya Mlima Kenya. Jana pale Kakamega, askari walikuwa wamepangwa 300. Na wako wale kama 20 ambaye wanatoka ile sub community inaitwa Nandi. Walikuwa wamepewa kazi.
Please subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you whenever we release a video like this. Ladies and gentlemen, like and share videos. In this video, I want to show you why there is no justice. Even if they try to compel IG Kanja to protect the man who is supposed to be investigated, there is not going to be any justice for Albert. You've seen for yourselves. When Aaron Cheriot is talking, Aaron Cheriot is, accusing IG because the buck stops with him. And you should have noticed that, knowing very well that the person who ordered the arrest of Albert Ojwang is their man, their boy, their brother, Eliud Lagat. He is intentionally and deliberately avoiding mentioning that. So after pretending that he sympathizes with the family, that he sympathizes like with the Luo community, he jumps, he doesn't want to mention Eliud, and he now directs his anger to a person I perceive to be Wamunyoro, because he now says that he's now warning those who are playing politics with the murder. It can never be politics. This must be pointed out. And who must point it out? It cannot be the people in the bread-based and blood-based government. It can only be the Wamunyoro team who are now injecting and pointing out weaknesses and the rot in the government. Don't tell me that, Rigathi was in the government then. I know he was there, and we criticized when he warned those who were demonstrating. When the Azimio went to the streets, we did keep quiet. We criticized and we said that was wrong, because demonstrations are allowed in the constitution. The same way we called it out is the same way we call it out today. So we agree fully with Rigathi Gachagua, because he's now speaking the truth, and that is what we want. Ladies and gentlemen, do you believe there is going to be justice for Albert? Do you think that the big fish will be called out? It will not, and I will tell you why. One, this is not the first time we have seen such deaths. As a matter of fact, Gen Zs were killed. As mere protesters were killed. We've seen people like Denzel. We've seen people like Rex. So this is not the first time. And the IPOA, the Independent Police Oversight Authority, has never done anything. I remember after the BBC exposed how the police killed Gen Zs, we were told that the IPOA, dropped some cases because there were no evidence. I don't know. quite a lot of confusion. So when they come out, this is meant for camera, I can assure you. There is nothing that will be done, nothing at all. If they wanted to bring out, to book those who have committed atrocities and murders, they would have started even with Gen Zs. Have you seen any police officer implicated in the death of those youths? So what makes you think that this time around is going to be different? It can never be. This is why I'm telling you that there's not going to be any justice. Number two, they have interdicted some, allegedly, I'm not even sure this government, those who are on duty. And if it is true that they have been interdicted, they are going to be sacrificed so that the big fish remains. Eliud Lagat will not be investigated. The small fishes will be interdicted. Maybe things will cool down and they will be, transferred to other areas. For example, you and I who is watching this channel, do you know them, those who are on duty on that day? Will you go there and find out that this was a child who was on duty, he has been interdicted, and now he's at Ushago OOKO? The best they can do is to sacrifice those small fishes. The interdiction has taken place, and you have seen the IPOA boss is now praising the IG for interdicting them. That is the end of it. Maybe the report will come out, I don't know. Number three, Lagat is from Ruto's tribe, just the same way Gachagua is saying. You've seen, even in government, how some powerful forces from the Kalennin community were retrieved from jail and they were pardoned. You've seen what happens when we have some corruption cases that are dating back to Uhuru era. They were cleared, and the judges who were handling the cases said there's a lot of sabotage from the independent institutions that are supposed to protect Kenyans and retrieve our lost money. They are the ones that are aiding corruption and shielding and protecting the culprits. Not my words, but the words of the judge. So the fact that Eliud Lagat comes from Ruto's place, Ruto's tribe, he won't be investigated. That's why Aaron Cheruiyot does not even want to mention him. He would rather mention IG, Kanja. Number three, there is no way the IPOA can be in a meeting with the people they want to investigate. There is no way they can come together. Because now what they're telling us that they're not investigating the person who issued the orders to arrest Albert, but rather those who undertook and implemented the arrest. And that is very wrong. So the fact that I have seen the IPOA and the police together, nothing. Remember, who appoints the chair of the IPOA? William Samuel Ruto. Who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, the person in charge of the police? Ruto. It can never be. So if you are waiting or dreaming that Eliud Lagat will be investigated, please, it won't. So Douglas Kanja here, in fact, is being used because he's now being forced to protect something that maybe he was not even aware. Maybe he didn't even know that some orders had been issued and Albert was going to be murdered. Now he's being forced as the boss to protect something that I believe he might not even understand. And so, ladies and gentlemen, those who are enjoying broad-based, those who welcome William Ruto in Raila Odinga Stadium, those who have been saying that we are supporting Ruto to punish Rigathi Gachagua. So how is Rigathi punished in this sense now that you've lost one of your own? Mko kwa government ili ili Rigathi afeel ya kwamba nyinyi mko kwa government na wetu wenyu wanakufa. In fact, let me tell you, had Eliud Lagat's name not been mentioned in this case, you would have heard some people say that this could be Wamunyoro who sent his people to kill, Albert, so that there is, a rift between the Luos and Kalengis now that they're in parliament. Thank God it has been mentioned that it was Eliud Lagat who ordered, and the people went to pick this young man One of them, in fact, the father says the only name he can remember is Segei. So it is an all Kalenjin affair. That is the only saving grace. Otherwise, the proponent of the government would have said Newa Munyoro. You remember the politics around the death of the former CDF, General Ogola, where some people were saying, this could be Wamunyoro, who did this to create a rift between a lot of things that we would want to forget. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has really opened the Pandora's box. It has opened a can of worms. And so, your guess is as good as mine, but I can assure you that the untouchable Eliud Lagat will not. In fact, the people who keep on exposing him might go, but he will still remain there. Ahead of 2027, are you touched by the story of Albert? Do you feel like we don't need this government? Do you feel like we really need to vote this government out of power? If you are not, then I don't know. There's a problem. For Douglas Kanja, maybe it is only resignation that will help him. Otherwise, he will continue to shield all the rot in the police force. That's my take.